कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमो विष्णुपादाय राधिकाय प्रियात्मने श्री श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत नारायण श्रीकृष्ण लीला कथाने सुधाक्षम औदार्य माधुर्य गुणैर्युक्तम् वरं वरेण्यं पुरुषमान्तं नारायणं त्वं शिरसा नमामि कृदण्डीनां भक्तशिरोमणिं च श्रीकृष्णपादाभ्युदयकवति चैतन्यलीलामृतसारसारं नारायणं त्वं सततं प्रपद्ये नमामि नारायण पादपङ्कजं करोमि नारायण पूजनं सदा वदामि नारायण नाम निर्मलं स्मरामि नारायण तत्त्वमव्ययम् जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल इसे पुरुषोत्तम मास month of Purushottama. We are doing Purushottama Vrata, continuing to do. And we are reading the special Purushottama Shastra. Bhagavatamrita. Govardhanadaram Vande Goparupina. Gopulosthavam Ishanam Govindam Gopika Priyam. Govardhanadaram Vande Gopalam Goparupina. Gokulosthavam Ishanam Govindam Gopika Priyam. Goparupina Gopika Priya. So that Gopika pray. May they bestow their mercy, especially in this month. And tomorrow is Ekadasi, the Adhikamasa Antargata, Purushottamas Antargata Ekadasi, Kamala Ekadasi. Then 15th is the Rata Samapt, Monday. So not many days is left. So we should become aggressive to follow this. Huh? Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying, "Oh Bhagavan, among the Vishnu Vratas, you know, that by following that, it will destroy all sins and unlimited spaciousness. One of things. Please, please, oh Krishna, please advise me that. Oh Janardana, Purushottama Masa. What is the greatness of Purushottama Masa? And what is the process and which deity we should do puja and what kind of food time. Please, very specially requesting, oh Lord, please tell us. Then Lord Krishna himself is telling, oh Rajendra, in Raja among the kings, the foremost king, because like a friendly uh, thing. I'm going to describe this Purushottama's greatness of Purushottama's. Please hear. In the Purushottama Masa, in the Krishna Paksha, that Ekadasi is called Kamala Ekadasi. This is foremost among all the tithis. By this following Ekadasi, you attain Lakshmi. So you should not confuse with the Monday and Lakshmi. Monday, that's also comes side. But the real Lakshmi is actually Bhakti, Shuddha Bhakti. From Shuddha Bhakti, even Krishna will get purchased. So what more? So is there any wealth? What can there be wealth? Higher, if there can there be any higher wealth than that wealth through which he can buy, um, not buy, at least he can attain, he can please Krishna. So, so that is that is because so you can imagine. So in the Brahma Muhurta, after getting up from the bed, remembering Sri Lord Hari, after taking bath and all that, you have to do this Ekasi Vrata. In the house, how long, how many, to the extent that you do japa, in the Tirtha, 100 times, in Goshti, 1,000 times, near Tulsi, 100,000 times, and near Vishnu, uh, as much as you can, you should do. And in this subject, I'm going to tell you one ancient upakhyan. In the Avanti Nagar, in the Avanti town, it is in the Ujjain. Right now it is called, now the name is Ujjain. In the Shastra it's called Avanti Nagar. It is between Mathura and Dwarka, in the center place. And there, Krishna and Balaram, there is a Sandipani Muni ashrama was there. Um, Krishna and Balaram uh, went to Gurukul there. From the ancient time, that place is very beautiful and it's a place of learning. So many Puranas, they mention this name, Avanti Nagar, Ujjain, today present. So in that town, Vishwakarma, by name Vishwakarma, Brahman, was staying there. The, he had 5 children. The last one, Jai Sharma, because he did something bad, uh, he was being rejected by the parents, relatives, friends, everybody. Um, so he was sent away and he was staying in a very far away in a forest. uh. So that person, one time, he was going tirthas, holy places. He came to Allahabad, that is Triveni Sangam. Uh, that is the place we are talking in this. Remember, Narad Muni started from that place, searching for a person who has achieved Krishna's greatest mercy, Kripa Patra. So that place. Different names are there, Triveni, old name. Then he took bath there. Uh, he was very hungry. So he went looking for the ashram. By great fortune, he came to Arimitra, one sage ashram. That day it was Kamala Ekadasi Tithi. Kamala Ekadasi Tithi. But he is very hungry. He has come there. Uh, uh, so, not washed properly. He has come there. It was Ekadasi Tithi. But the Muni, the sage, he told him the greatness of this Ekadasi. So he followed it. So by his following this Ekadasi, in the night, that night itself, Ekadasi night itself, Lakshmi Devi Swayam, she herself, Lakshmi Devi, she came there and then told her, "O Brahmana, a foremost Brahmana, you have followed with devotion this Kamala Ekadasi. Kamala. See, Kamala is also name of Lakshmi. Huh? Uh, I am very pleased with you, uh, and I want to bless you. I have decided to bestow you any boon that you like." Then Jai Sharma is asking, "Who are you? Where have you come from? Why are you so pleased with me? Huh? Are you the wife of Indra, Sachidevi, or very dear to Lord Shiva, Parvati? Uh, I never took darshan like you. Yeah, so your face is so effulgent. Huh? Then the Devi, that lady, told, "I'm inspired by the most merciful Sri Narayan. I've come from Vaikunta. Oh, most fortunate Brahmana. Because you followed this, I have come under your control. And in your lineage, very high Brahmanas will take birth. I'm telling you the truth." Then Brahmana is telling, "Oh Kamale, name of Lakshmi is Kamale. Oh Kamale, if you are really, sorry, I think Arya, I forgot to put. Were you hearing okay or I don't know? Otherwise I have to repeat.
The audio is fine, Shilakurde.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I forgot to put on. So, this Brahmana is telling, "Oh Kamala." Kamala is the name again, addressing Lakshmi. Brahmana is asking, "If you are really telling me the truth and if you are really pleased with me, I have one desire to obtain one boon from you. Huh? Please tell me this Vrata, in detail." So through this Brahmana, huh, so that they will inspire to take up this Ekasi Vrata and they will follow this Ekasi. Then Sri Lakshmi Devi is telling this Vrata Mahat, greatness of this Vrata is very pleasing and foremost auspicious. This needs to be heard by everyone with foremost devotion. If we hear this, immediately, uh, even most sinful person will become free from that. How among the birds, Garuda. you know, among the rivers, Ganga, and among the titis, Ekadasi. Same way in the among the months, Purushottama month of Purushottama is extra month, is topmost. Even today, Devatas, demigods, they desire to take birth in Bharat. They desire it. So, though with devotion, one who utters the name of Vishnu, then Brahma, all those great devatas, they also worship them. That person who is Namaparayan, Hari Kirtan, immersed in Hari Kirtan and Hari Puja, that person is actually most fortunate in this age of Kali. Ekadasi being fasting, nirara, without taking anything. And then Dwadasi, we remember Krishna. And you do Parna with the Mahaprasad. And on the day of Ekadasi, should do Kirtan and study of the Shastra. And in the night, you have to do Jagar. And in the Dwadasi, after taking bath and all that, you have to worship Gadadhar. O Keshava, and you pray. Yeah. O Keshava, this in the darkness of ignorance, O Keshava, in the darkness of ignorance, I am blind. I'm blind because I'm in the darkness of ignorance. O Keshava, that's why be pleased with my this vrata anusthana. Whatever I try to follow this vrata. And you give me jnana drishti. You give me knowledge. uh, Vision of knowledge. Like this, with humbly we have to pray. Afterwards, we have to feed the devotees, then accepting Charanamrita, Lord's, and along with his families, we can take Parna. If you follow him like this, you attain Vishnu Loka. So Lord Sri Krishna said, afterwards Lakshmi Devi giving this boon, she disappeared. Afterwards, Jai Sharma became very healthy. Then again he went back to his father. O king, one who does this Kamala Vrata, and hearing this Vara, greatness of this Vrata, he becomes free from all sins. Jai Jai Kamala Ekasi Ki Jai. So we pray Guru Parampara, they best to follow this pratha. Now we were Uttara, mother of Parikshit Maharaj. Remember the time is the uh, place is Sukarta. Even today it is between Delhi and then Haridwar. Both places. Sukarta there, where there is a holy fig tree even today, very big. Wow, really amazing. The same tree under which 5,000 years ago Sukadeva Goswami recited Bhagavatam. Same tree is still there, branches, huge. Uh, uh, at that time, nearby Ganga was there. Now Ganga is little far away. Uh, there, after recital of Srimad Bhagavatam, 18,000 verses, Sukadeva Goswami left, blessed him, Parikshit Maharaj. So some time he left. So Parikshit Maharaj was thinking, I will become mauna, become silent, contemplate what happens. Was thinking like that. But Uttara came, Mother Uttara. He said, oh son, you are very fortunate. I'm not worried about that will be bitten by the Takshaka. I know you have already uh, Jivan Mukta. You have already liberated in this very life. So there is nothing anybody can do. uh. Even if a snake, the Takshaka will come and bite, you are able to deliver him also. Because by touching you, you have become spiritualized. By touching you, you will also get elevated. So I'm not worried about that. But please, you tell me, you enlighten me. You are so positive. The summary of what you have heard. Huh? So Parikshit Maharaj said, oh mother, you are asking me a great thing. I wanted to become silent, but your question making me is, is charging me up so much. you know. So I like to speak. This is amazing thing. See, for 7 days, he has not taken any food, no sleep, no water. And he is so enthusiastic to tell, to answer mother's question. And we have seen how the first part, you know, is telling who is the foremost who attained mercy of Krishna, topmost mercy of Krishna. Now you think Parikshit Maharaj told this in anywhere in Bhagavatam? Not directly, you understand what I'm saying? But so he is telling the essence. Parikshit Maharaj, hearing all that, and it doesn't have 7 more days. Only few hours left. Uh, That to night time. So few hours left. So it's possible that Sukhdev himself is speaking to inspiring. So anyway, he tells that part, that most Papa. So all right. So we understood in the now Vrindavan, how Krishna himself is, is helpless in a sense. The gopis, the greatness of gopis. So they are the greatest recipient of the Krishna's mercy, no doubt about it. Then Uttara has a question, obviously. What the question? She's telling how that. They are the foremost recipient of mercy of Krishna. What will be their destination? If you say it is Vaikuntha, like everybody Vaikuntha, then what is so charming about it? It cannot be. I don't think so. She herself is telling. Herself is telling, doubting that conclusion. Huh? So you please remove my doubt. What place they go? I want to know. Mother Yashoda, Gopis, they also go to, like this ordinary Vaikuntha, like anybody else. No, child. So please. So for that, Parikshit Maharaj is telling you the next second aspect, that how Gopakumar is going to different places. It is amazing. Actually, this through the scripture there is nothing like that. There is no other scripture like this. Not possible because it exclusively focuses on one final destination. And all these places, Krishna is arranging through Gopakumar. Description of all these places, and you will not find anywhere else. It has to be realized. And so, but for the general, uh, overall fortunate who are just to hear this scripture, the scripture is not revealed in all the ages, in all Kali Yuga. I don't think so. Only this special age of Kali, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, uh, comes only in one Kali Yuga, of 1,000 Kali Yuga, in only one Kali. So, and he wants to take us. That's why he's revealing this. Like he revealed Kaliket and Goriket, right? No, everybody was forgotten. Where is Radha Kund Shamakund? Nobody could understood or reveal. But they told there is one Goriket and Kaliket. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood. Oh, that is Radha Kund Shamakund. So then through Raghunath Das Goswami, by the inspiration of uh, Badrinath, uh, well, it was revived. So, um, so same way this Shastra was revived by Mahaprabhu through Sanatana Goswami. There is no doubt about it. Otherwise, it is impossible. So, So the Gopakumara is going, from this world, Jagannath Puri, Mathura, and all that. And then he's going to he, Indra. He became Indra. Then he goes to uh, these stages where Prugu Rishi is there. Then also the uh, Janaloka, then Tapoloka, uh, Kumaras, then Brahmaloka. And he also becomes Brahma. Then he is worshipping. But then he realizes that he was not happy with the post of Brahma. In the post of Indra, it was miserable. you know, then Brahma. Then he goes to different 8 layers, right? Each layer, Lord is there, each one. So, Bhumi, like that, different layers. Then afterwards, he goes to, uh, actually comes back to here, Vrindavan. Then with the mercy of his Guru, he goes to this Mahakala, you know, impersonalist. And there he is meeting with Lord Shiva. And there also they come the Vaikuntha plan. So that's where we left off. So this and the in the when he was in the post of Brahma, there's a conversation between the scriptures, okay, personified scriptures. Some scripture is bhakti, pradanya. No, 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 no. This, uh, this mukti, liberation. So then the Shastra explain how puny this liberation is. And later on, we'll see how Lord Shiva also tells that. He warns and then he don't go nearby. uh, and the thing is, like we have heard, even the demons, like Kamsa and all that, when they killed, they got liberated and they went there. The place where the demons go, I think a devotee should also aspire to go there. Right? No. So then what is that liberation place? Mukti. Is it only cessation of suffering, nothing more than that. Okay. Cessation of suffering. There is no suffering. But afterward, what? You know, there is no service, and it's like you're put into when doctor gives anesthesia. You're unconscious. So in unconscious state, either you are neither aware of, you know, where is suffering. There is no suffering, but there is no service or no pleasure also, and we are not dead either, not living or dead. So that is very unfortunate. You become like that because you are a demon. Now you need mercy. Understand? In that situation, you need the mercy of Vaishnava. In any state, in any circumstances, unless one has the mercy of the great Vaishnava, There is no possibility of further progress. Okay. Very, very good. Now matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. My even is very, very little time association with Jana. That's why when we'll see later on how they will get the devotees going, living up this body. And they pass through these lokas. It's like going from one country to another, you pass through so many places. So like that. Then those pure devotees look at these people and they pray, yeah, mercy on them. And because these great Vaishnavas, look at them, that itself is a great. You know, they get so much security because vision of Vaishnava on them. You know. So then they come back to this material world again. They take birth and they become devotees and they go back. So like that. So you should not get uh, trapped by this uh, liberation, you know, mukti. Uh, That's why devotees don't aspire for that. And Krishna also does not want to give mukti to devotees. He will only give it to demons. Okay. So like that. So in this case, uh, now this Gopakumara has uh, entered that place. This Mahakala, you know, mukti place. There, uh, he come across he what he uh, then he's thinking, when shall I go to Rajabhumi and perform the devotional practice I desire? You know, he was after seeing this effulgent light like that. Then he heard the sound of extraordinary singing and the instrumental music. Thrilled to hear that sound, I looked all around and saw a completely extraordinary person sitting on a bull and descending from a higher realm. I saw a bull descending down. That three-eyed personality was as white as camphor and clad uh, only in the directions, charming and adorned with a half moon on his forehead. On his forehead, half a moon. He looked beautiful with matted locks, washed by Ganga water. His body was coated with ashes. He sported an enchanting garland of bones, and he was carrying a trident in his hand. So, who is the is Vishnu? And but the Gopakumara does not know this. Now we know this is Lord Shiva. He was wearing the garland of bones, right? Now, what kind of bones they are? Not ordinary. He says, so beautiful garland of bones that had been taken from the bodies of the crushed jewels of Vaishnavas after they had abandoned those bodies upon departing from this world. They are not ordinary, they are bones of Vaishnavas, that is body. Shiva is Param Vaishnava, whom we will wear. You know. So Vaishnava is respecting. Sitting on his lap was a woman of golden complexion who was satisfied with his affection. That great personality was surrounded by suitable attendants who were serving him with celestial umbrellas, chameras, and other items that were even more divine than that of heaven. These servants, whose forms and actions were most enchanting, were perfectly suited to their master. Seeing him, I was astonished and elated, and I thought, who is this personality coming from above the abode of liberation and surrounded by such an entourage? His distinctive opulence far surpassed anything of this world. Although he is far superior to all liberated souls, at the same time, he gave he gave impression of being a great hedonist and who transgresses virtuous conduct. Seeing the husband of Gauri, my consciousness was overwhelmed with great bliss. I offered obeisances to him along with all his associates, and he cast his merciful glance upon me. Feeling supreme joy, I approached and specifically inquired about him from the leader of his associates, Sriman Nandishvara. Nandi laughed and told me, when I told him, please tell me who is. Oh, coward boy, you are devoted to the worship of Gopala. You don't know this is Jagadishvara, Lord Shiva, the Lord of the universe. He is the giver of both material pleasure and liberation, and he increases the devotee's love for Bhagavan. He is worshipable by all liberated souls and is very dear to the Vaishnavas. When bhakti is performed with the perspective that Sri Shiva and Sri Krishna are non-different, one attains that about Shivaloka, which perfectly corresponds to Lord Shiva. Now captivated by the devotion of his friend Kuvera, Lord Shiva has left this abode with his beloved Parvati and some of his followers. He is traveling to Mount Kailasha to increase its beauty with his presence. He is going to Kailash. Kailash is on this planet, near Himalayas. Uh, Sri Gopakumara said, I was extremely pleased to hear Nandishvara's words. When I understood that Shiva and Krishna are non-different, I began to desire to obtain some special mercy from Maheshwara that I could perceive and experience. The omniscient Bhagavan Sri Mahadev understood my intention and ordered Sri Nandishvara to instruct me. By Nandishvara's pure guidance, the truth of oneness easily manifested in my heart. Then I could understand that this Sri Maheshwara, non different from Madan Gopala, the worshipable deity of my very life, and he alone causes all devotees to increase their devotion to the Lord. I cheerfully joined Sri Shiva's followers, who increased my pleasure even more. Then I heard an extraordinary account from the bull named Sri Nandi, Lord Shiva's carrier. This Bhagavan Sri Shiva exists eternally in one form and is always manifest in his beloved Shivaloka, where his unalloyed devotees who also reside there perpetually see him with great happiness. So Sri Shiva is always personally engaged in an ongoing festival of dancing, singing, and chanting the Lord's names. With his instructions, he makes his devotees happy, kindling their greed for devotional service to Sri Krishna, who is non different from himself. Although Sri Shiva is the Lord of the world, like a servant, he always lovingly worshipped the thousand-hooded Shesha, his beloved form of Bhagavan. I became most happy to learn that Shuloka is more special and more glorious than all other abodes. Still, I felt my heart was not full. At first, I could not discern even a trace of the reason for my discontent. But as soon as I reflected on it, everything immediately became clear by the influence of my service to the mantra that Sri Gurudeva had mercifully given me. Service to mantra. See, when we do Gayatri and all that, we have to think we are doing service, seva to the mantras. You understand? That should be. I was dissatisfied because I was not experiencing the glories and pastimes of the lotus feet of Sriman Madan Gopala. Having determined this, I explained to my mind, it is Sri Maheshwara himself who, having assumed some other form that is supremely attractive, is manifesting all those special varieties of pastimes. Seeing that my mind remained dissatisfied despite my instructions, I told it, O mind, although you are not able to experience the sweetness of the pastimes of Madan Gopal in his form as Sri Mahadev, still by the mercy of Mahadev, your long cherished desire will soon be fulfilled. There is no doubt about this. For some reason, Sri Shiva rested in the abode of liberation for a few moments. You remember, he was going to Kailash, but he rested there. Some reason. I also stood there near him and pacified my mind with the words of wisdom. O Bhagavan, O greatly fortunate one, just then I heard the very sweet singing of some exalted personalities in the distance. Hearing the sound of that music, Maheshwar was plunged into an ocean of intense bliss. Maddened by the string of great love within himself, he spontaneously began to dance alone. He was started dancing. Heard the sound. Parvati Devi, the crest jewel of chaste wives, and Nandi, along with other associates, increased the enthusiasm of their Lord by playing musical instruments, singing the names of the Lord, and so on. Then I saw that four attractive male persons had arrived there. They had four arms and they were enchanting, bearing the beauty and sweetness of blossoming youth. Those Vaikuntha associates were themselves the ornaments of their ornaments, and the effulgence of their limbs was so brilliant that the associates of Shiva were concealed by it. Singing the super excellent glories of their Lord, they were submerged in the mellow of bliss. They are beyond the power of words to describe. Their clothes and ornaments were so beautiful as to steal your mind. Accompanying them were the four brothers headed by Sanaka, whom I had previously seen in Tapoloka. As a natural result of their darshana, Prema welled within me and captured my mind so completely that everything I had held dear, internal or external, was thrust from my consciousness. After some time, I regained my composure. However, fearful and embarrassed, I did not deem myself fit to beg them for a rare boon of serving them. It is extremely difficult to fulfill the desire of being the servant of Bhagavan's personal associates because I was unable to pray for that position even in my mind. Feelings of great wretchedness and humility filled my heart. In addition, the longing to attain this servitorship began to grow and torment my heart even more. I thought, if Sri Shiva gives me his mercy, maybe there is a chance that they will speak to me just once. Where do they reside? Who are they? Whoever they are, may they save me by their merciful sidelong glance. How astonishing! Upon embracing them, even Sri Rudra swooned in great love. Knowing the disposition of my mind, Sri Uma Devi, who follows the art of Lord Shiva, ordered Ganesha to say something to me. Sri Ganesha said, these are the personal associates of Mahaprabhu, Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, the Lord of Vaikuntha. They have received forms like his and have come here from Vaikuntha. Look, some of them are going to the small universes that is ruled by four-headed Brahma. Look there, look over there. Others are going further and further away to the bigger universes, which are ruled by the Brahma, who have many more heads. This eight-headed Brahma is twice as big as the four-headed Brahma, and his universe is also double in size. The 16-headed Brahma is twice the size of the eight-headed Brahma, and his universe is also double the size. In this way, there are Brahmas who possess heads ranging from 16 all the way up to billions upon billions. Each Brahma dwelling in a proportionately larger universes. Sri Ganesha pointed out to me, oh highly fortunate one, just see these Vaikuntha associates. Their beauty enchants the eyes. They are entering those universes, manifesting garments, ornaments, and opulences suitable to the vastness of each universe. The Ganesha continued. The Vaikuntha associates of Sri Narayana are ardent lovers of devotional service. Warding off dangers that impede devotion, they protect the devotees who, at the time of death, utter with their tongues or hear with their ears even a semblance of the holy name of Sri Narayana, the master of Vaikuntha. Under the guise of protecting those devotees who on their deathbed chant or hear the Lord's holy name, they wander everywhere at will to spread pure devotion to Sri Narayana. Like the Vaikuntha associate, the four Kumaras headed by Sanaka, who are the best of lifelong celibates and who are devotee incarnation of Bhagavan, wander everywhere for the welfare of all. They also reside in Tapoloka, where they disseminate the pastimes of Bhagavan to nourish and protect the many brahmacharis there who appear orphaned, unable to see Narayan. These four Kumaras are just coming from Vaikuntha, where they saw the all attractive Sri Bhagavan, who is adorned with transcendental qualities, with their hearts overflowing with streams of joy that taunt the bliss of liberation. They are traveling with Bhagavan's personal associates. Now they are drinking the ambrosia of bhakti in the close associates and of devotees of Sri Hari. What more can I describe about Vaikuntha? It is eternally endowed with the ultimate limit of unlimited happiness and is perfect with corresponding opulence. The entire Vaikuntha is decorated with the various pastime places of the lotus feet of Sri Rama Natha, Amarnath, and it is easily attained by the Lord's loving devotees. However, those whose hearts are pierced by the thorn of the desire for savage liberation, having been contaminated by an inclination towards monism, cannot imagine its glories even in their dreams. If you receive the full mercy of my Father, Shiva, you will also hear the glories of the realm of Vaikuntha. Then you will directly experience them by going there. See, Gopakumara said, O Brahmana, he is telling, that Mathura Brahmana, he is telling his experience. A great desire to go to Vaikuntha arose in me and drove me to dance uncontrollably on a stage of the waves of a boundless ocean of anxiety. But thinking about it, I concluded I was unfit to reside in Vaikuntha. Overwhelmed by severe grief, I fell to the ground unconscious. The extremely merciful Sri Mahadeva, who cannot bear the distress of others, and who is especially affectionate to the Vaishnavas, then lifted me from the ground and consoled me with the following words. Sri Mahadeva said, O Honorable Vaishnava, just like you, Parvati, and I also desire to reside forever in Vaikuntha Loka. That realm is rarely attained. Indeed, even liberated souls always pray to go there. Brahma's sons like Bhrigu and other great sages, Brahma himself, and even I endeavor to attain it. Those pure-hearted persons with no material desire and who with great conviction adhere to Varnashrama Dharma achieve Bhagavan's mercy. When this mercy is multiplied 100 times, one attains the position of Brahma. When one receives 100 times more mercy than that, he attains my position, or Shiva Pada. And when one receives mercy that is again 100 times greater, only then can he proceed to the abode of Vaikuntha. But you, O son of cowards man from Govardhana, are qualified to go to Vaikuntha because you are a devotee of the Lord of Mathura, a disciple of a Brahmana who cherishes unalloyed devotion to the Lord, and one who is deeply attached to chanting the Lord's mantra. This is the realm of Sahyamukti, the place there. One of the four kinds of liberation. Only those sannyasis whose hearts are steeped in the monistic sentiments of oneness with the Absolute attain this place. Their hearts, their hearts dried up by the fire of suffering in material existence, bereft of any ability to discriminate between what has value and what is worthless. They reach this abode of Sahitya, ordered by Sri Krishna to conceal the path of loving devotion to his lotus feet. I have cast those sannyasis into an ocean of illusion and perplexity. Therefore, those eager to relish the bhakti rasa of blissfully worshipping Sri Bhagavan avoid this abode. You should also abandon this place, seeing it as an obstacle to your path. So, Lord Shiva is warning. Now you also avoid this place. A Brahmana residing in Dwarka, there is one pastime. huh? That Brahmana was very, you know, he was residing in Dwarka, desirous of the nectar of devotion to Sri Krishna. Devised a clever scheme to retrieve his sons from the prison of liberation and bring them back to Dwarka. There's one pastime. Then, only by the mercy of a bona fide guru have you seen the indescribably beautiful form of Bhagavan here. Indeed, you should understand that the desire to see Sri Krishna and that has blossomed in you is also the result of your Guru's mercy. Gopakumara said, I was overjoyed to receive the mercy of Sri Shankara. At that point, I desired to speak to the Vaikuntha associates, but out of shyness, I could not. Hearing the words of Lord Shiva, the Bhagavan's eternal associate respectfully offered him obeisances and humbly began to speak. Sri Bhagavan's personal associate said, O Bhagavan, there is no difference between the Lord of Vaikuntha and you, nor between Rama and Gauri. You and Gauri are fit to live in Vaikuntha because you are renowned as the most dear to the Lord of Vaikuntha and are his exalted incarnation. Nevertheless, by describing yourself as a fallen soul, as you just did, is certainly natural for such an immensely beloved devotee of Bhagavan. Because you are the perceiver and knower of the ways of Sri Krishna Bhakti Rasa, the Vaishnavas praise you. Therefore, your glories are superior to all other incarnations of Sri Bhagavan. Gopakumara said, embarrassed to hear himself praise, Sri Shiva remained silent. Then Bhagavan's associates, who are the crushed jewels of all well-wishers, embraced me and spoke. The personal associate of Sri Bhagavan said, O son of a Gopa, who is dear to Umapati, you worship our Lord by the transcendental mantra. Therefore, we certainly count you as one of his devotees. You have received as your exalted Guru the incarnation of Sri Krishna named Jayanta. He is a high-class Mathura Brahmana, born on the bank of Ganga in Gauda Desha, Bengal. Know this truth. We have come here to know this truth. We have come here to the abode of liberation just for you. They are saying, just for you. We have come here. Now, if you want to go to Vaikuntha, listen to what must be done. Renounce everything and with deep love execute the nine forms of bhakti. Devote yourself to Srimad Bhagavatam and other scriptures that teach loving devotion to the Lord, and regularly listen to the narrations of Sri Bhagavan's pastimes. When those descriptions enter the holes of your ears and you hear them with love, they will immediately bring you to the abode of Sri Bhagavan. Bhakti is the best of all means of spiritual attainment. Therefore, the abode of Vaikuntha, which is the best of all the goals of human life, can be obtained by simply following any one of the nine processes of bhakti. Without consideration, Rasika devotees were expert in discriminating between what is of substance and what is worthless. Regard as insignificant the entire corpus of great rewards that are described, except for the abode of Vaikuntha. However, Rasika devotees happily execute the ninefold processes of bhakti to taste the wonderful varieties of the sweetness of bhakti rasa. Still, by the beautiful execution of any one aspect of the ninefold process of bhakti, pure love for the lotus feet of Sri Krishna automatically manifests in the heart. Even so, because any extraneous desire poses a great obstacle to attaining Vaikuntha, in order to remove the disease of material desires in the heart, it is necessary to perform that ninefold devotional process with a loving devotional mood. Although this bhakti can be obtained anywhere, wherever it is achieved becomes Vaikuntha, and the Lord is indeed present there. However, Sri Bhagavan is not directly visible in all those places. Therefore, devotees aspire for the abode of Vaikuntha. Besides Vaikuntha, no other place exhibits all the varieties of bhakti. The countless staunch devotees are resolutely performing such bhakti unhindered by impediments like material time. Specifically, do not think that bhakti is an endeavor of the dull senses, mind, and body, being eternal reality and concentrated bliss. Bhakti is beyond the modes of material nature and thus cannot be grasped by the material senses. When the practitioner's heart is completely cleansed by pure discrimination, the nine processes of bhakti stored within that completely purified soul. Only then does he attain the abode of Sri Hari, Vaikuntha Loka. If bhakti to the Lord were also to be an activity of the senses, like all other mundane activities, then it could not be the function of the soul. Alternatively, it may be said that if by knowledge the soul were to be cleansed of the entanglement of activities with the body and senses, then the nine processes of bhakti, like material activities, could not be functions of the soul. This is because the process of bhakti, unlike material activities, is not rooted in the living being's false ego of being the doer. Bhakti mercifully spores on her own accord to the soul that is purified by the false ego of being the doer. Devotional service to Bhagavan is not an activity of the body and senses as are other activities. How can a soul go to Vaikuntha if he is bereft of any activity of devotion to the Lord? Without bhakti, such a person is fit only for liberation. Some people think that devotion to the Lord is also a karmic activity, like performing one's prescribed occupational duties. But this can never be so. This is an external conception, not based on the understanding truth of bhakti. Although the term deha is used to refer both to the bodies of the devotees who reside in Vaikuntha and to bodies made of five material elements, nevertheless the first usage is transcendental and the second is material. Similarly, although bhakti is independent of karma, nevertheless, due to an external perspective, it is sometimes regarded as karma. In Vaikuntha or anywhere else, a devotee may reside a suitable body manifest of its own accord. This body and its senses are comprised of eternity, knowledge, and place. Loving service to the Lord and to the Lord's devotees are both transcendental. Indeed, we, eternal residents of Vaikuntha, are evidence of this. We wander everywhere freely to spread devotion to various ways, and we are never affected by material qualities or even touched by them. To arrange that neophyte engage in bhakti with complete satisfaction. Bhakti manifests simply as the activities of their own senses. However, great devotees who are fixed in bhakti do not consider devotional service to be subservient to their own power. Rather, they experience it as the supreme mercy of the Lord. Therefore, O Sri Gopakumara, if you desire to reach Vaikuntha, quickly then go to Sri Vrajabhumi. That land of Raja is excellent in fulfilling all desire. Due to the influence of devotion in which Nama Sankirtan is prominent, the wealth of prema will arise in your heart very quickly, and by that power you will easily able to see Krishna right in Vaikuntha. Because previously Sri Gopakumara had heard the following from Yogendra of Tapoloka, Vaikuntha Parshara speak as follows. See, this is very important. Um, uh, in the Tapoloka, uh, Yogendras, they speak that Smarana, stop like that. So the Vaikuntha, the associate, eternal associates of Vishnu, they are clarifying. Some hold that all the types of bhakti, smarana, remembering, rather than kirtana, is the foremost. See, we say kirtana, right? Remember in our sampradaya. But some say remembrance, smarana, is the foremost. And it is the best of the most confidential means to attain pure love for the Lord. Their reasoning is that kirtana manifests only as a function of speech in one of the inner senses. Further, it manifests very easily and quickly. Therefore, it can only give a slight result. Some people argue like that. The yoga and rasa. Smarana, on the other hand, is a function of the mind, which is the king of all the senses. The turbulent, volatile mind is not easily restrained or withdrawn from sense objects. Therefore, smarana bhakti, which is accomplished by a mind that is purified only after tremendous endeavor and diligence, is superior to kirtana, particularly that which is accomplished by subjugation of the mind must be the most excellent. Who can doubt this? So this is their argument. Huh? Marana is the best. So the associates of Vishnu expressing their view. However, in our opinion, Kirtana is superior to Smarana, remember, which manifests only in one's own heart via the restless mind. Kirtana, on the other hand, manifests on the tongue and automatically connects with the mind. The sound of Kirtana then satisfies both one's own sense of hearing and that of other listeners. When the faculty of speech, which drives the external and internal senses, faculty of speech, or internal senses, it is brought under control only then does the mind become steady. And only when the mind is steady can one remember Bhagavan. Mind must be steady to remember Bhagavan. Therefore, Kirtana is favorable to remembrance. And this remembrance is the fruit of devotional service of Kirtana. See, Kirtana is favorable to remembrance. And this remembrance is the fruit of the devotional service of Kirtana. If the functions of the senses, Sankirtana, glorification, Sparshana, touching, Darshana, seeing the deity, and so on, permeate the mind due to the force of dhyana, then certainly the superiority of meditation over Kirtana can be accepted. The practice which a devotee observed in transcendental taste thoroughly loves and by which it derives his happiness is the topmost method for him. It is incumbent upon him to execute that practice with faith and respect. And such practice is ultimate goal. Those who are saintly concur with this opinion. Sankirtan increases the bliss of dhyana, which in turn increases the bliss of sweetness of kirtan. As they mutually nourish and amplify each other, we actually consider Sankirtana and Dhyana to be one. Dhyana is also pleasing like Sankirtan because one feels happiness in the experience of every single matter concerning one's beloved. And because one becomes peaceful when the mind is truly absorbed in anything related to him. For instance, a person suffering from fever gets relief from his thirst and experiences happiness merely by imagining himself drinking cool ambrosial water. Similarly, the performer of Sankirtan also receives happiness and peace from glorifying his cherished object. But although one can also attain happiness by performing kirtana of one's beloved object, still it is not possible to express all one's sentiment through chanting out loud. Even if that were possible by endeavor, there are so many confidential moods that saintly devotees may feel shy to sing about, even in a secluded place. Dhyana can also be accomplished in seclusion when one is alone. Sankirtan, however, can be performed successfully whether alone or in an assembly. So, among different types of chanting or glorification, the Sankirtana of the names of Sri Krishna is prominent because his Nama Sankirtan is capable of generating the treasure of prema very quickly. Therefore, scholars have deemed Nama Sankirtan the most excellent process of bhakti. Who can describe the glories of the incomparable happiness that the tongue savors by constantly serving with heartfelt love the nectar of Sri Krishna's beloved names? Although all of Bhagavan's names are equally glorious, the desired goal is obtained quickly and easily by chanting the name of the Lord. that one cherishes the most. People who are different tastes first develop loving attachment for only one name, one the many names of Bhagavan. But gradually they begin to cherish all his names. By manifesting on one sense organ, the tongue, the nectarian mellow of Bhagavan's name inundates all the senses with its sweetness. The name primarily appears in the sense of speech, the tongue. When it is glorified aloud, both the chanter and the other experience happiness. However, in dhyana, only the meditator benefits and receives pleasure. Therefore, Nama Sankirtan is certainly superior to meditation. Nama Sankirtan is the best and most powerful method for obtaining the treasure of divine love for Sri Krishna because it is like a supremely magnetic mantra. Therefore, because Nam Sankirtan never fails to bestow the treasure of prema or love for Bhagavan, those who are expert in tasting the mellows of devotion, bhakti rasika, regard it as the fruit of bhakti. Some knowers of rasa consider Nama Sankirtan alone to be the embodiment and the most excellent symptom of Sri Krishna prema because while absorbed in chanting the name of one's beloved Lord with an anxious, open heart, prema automatically manifests in that Nama Sankirtan. So, Nama Sankirtan. So, the Vaikuntha Parshadas are explaining this. How amazing. So, we will continue our time. Vancha kalpataru vyascha kripa sindhu vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. जय जय नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय अमाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय नाम निष्ठ संत प्रभु की अति अति शीघ्र भगवत प्राप्ति की जय पुरुषोत्तम धाम की जय पुरुषोत्तम व्रत की जय पुरुषोत्तम महीना की जय जय कमला एकादशी तिथि की जय माधव तिथि की जय विवाह तिथि की जय भक्ति जननी एकादशी देवी की जय एकादशी गोपाल की जय सचिनंदन गौर हरि की जय सर्वा विष्णु गिरिराज महाराज की जय गुरुदेव की जय गुरुपाद पद्म की जय गुरु वर्ग की जय गुरु परंपरा की जय सप्त पंच का गुरु वर्ग की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल क्षमा क्षमा धैर्य Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Then of pranam to everybody. Please forgive me.
Dandavad Pranam Maharaj.